Channels. It is nice to see you. I am Sam Smith, or SD Smith. I live in West Virginia, and I'd love to know your name, if you're comfortable sharing that, and where you're from. Your state, your province, your district, anything like that would be great. Love to hear from you. It's going to be a fun night. We are actually going to share, you're going to see some gameplay tonight. You're going to see me, for at least a little while, struggling to play the new Helmer game. And it's not perfect yet. It's not completely done. This is very early. You're getting a sneaky preview of the new game, and it's going to be fun. We're going to have a good time. Hey, just a few things, a few housekeeping kind of things as you're saying hello in the chat. Hey, just got some ground rules for the house here, house rules, and that is just like, let's be respectful of everyone. No spoilers. We're not going to do any spoilers of like, why did this character die, or why did this happen. Don't do anything like that, or don't act weird. You know, don't be, you know, just typing the same thing 1,000 times. That's kind of rude, because we're going to interact a little bit there. You're going to asking me questions, and if we already had some people ask some questions, so we've got some of those lined up. But if you ask a great question, then that might make it into the Q&A tonight for me. But I'm also going to ask you questions, and that is how you're going to be entered. So the one I already asked you about where you're from and your name, if you're comfortable sharing that, that's how you get entered into the first giveaway. And we're going to do 3 big giveaways. We're going to give away a signed set of the old Natalia, and that includes this activity book, which is, it's over here, and it's awesome. The activity book's really cool. It's got coloring pages and that kind of thing, and it's got we've got this cool coloring. We've got these cool coloring activity book and this cool green ember colored pencils, and that's going to be fun. So you're going to somebody's going to win the old Natalia set signed. Someone's going to win the Archer set signed, and someone's going to win the main 4 set signed, and that's going to be really cool. I hope you enjoy that. And remember, to be entered to that first giveaway, you're going to have to just say hello, where you're from. That's it on the first one. Am I missing anything? Just be kind in the comments, that kind of thing. That would be respectful and thoughtful of other people. Do I look like a ghost or what? I am. Wow. Am I scaring you? Type in either egg or ghost if you think I look more like a ghost or more like an egg. Both will hurt my feelings, but I think it's important we get it out there. I'm just kidding. So we'll do some questions and answers tonight. That's going to be fun, and we're going to play the game, and I think that's really exciting. Thank you to those of you who have backed the Kickstarter so far. We've met our initial goal, and that was really cool. That's really fun. There's less than 48 hours. How many hours do we have left now? 46, 45, something in that nature. 48 hours would be 1 for every year of my life, because that is how old I am. I'm 48 as of February. So if you didn't wish me happy birthday, it's not too late. So yeah, the Kickstarter is going well. It's a good initial start for this, and we're happy about that, and we want you to jump in if you'd like to. And in fact, I've got one more question for you. Actually, let's do something else first, then I'll ask you my other question, which is related to the Kickstarter a little bit. But first, I want to share something else that's really cool with you, which is an introduction to a podcast that Zach Franzen. Who knows who Zach Franzen is? Anybody? That's right. You're right. He's a criminal, and he's on the run. And if you have any information about it, call the FBI. No, I'm just kidding. That's not Zach Franzen. He is an awesome guy. He did the art for, man, I cannot figure out which way to point. Ooh, yeah. There's Helmer right there. Helmer, located in the Dragon Tomb at that particular moment. He has done art for all the Green Ember books, and he is incredible, an amazing guy. And he recorded a bunch of our conversations. So, and we knew about it. This wasn't some kind of undercover crime scheme. So he put together this story podcast of sort of behind the scenes of the Kickstarter, and that's been really fun. And he put, so we have a podcast. It's got just 3 episodes, and it's just a story, and it kind of tracks some of our thinking. So if you if your kids are interested in business or creative endeavors and that kind of a thing, and you want to see sort of a peek behind the curtain about what goes on when you do some kind of crazy big thing like this, then that might be fun for you. In fact, we're going to show you just a short little snippet from the podcast, and then I'll be back in just a moment.
We spoke to some consultants, really world-class performance marketing leaders, and they gave us a lot of good advice, but they both asked the same question at the beginning. The first asked, "Are you making a free or inexpensive mobile game with ads or microtransactions?" The second asked, "Are you making a free or inexpensive mobile game with ads or microtransactions?" After we explained we weren't, we heard, "Well, that's definitely not the usual way to go if you want to make money on a video game."
So many games are really predatory, and they're, you get in and then it's like in-app purchases and in-game purchases. So that was our first big challenge, is how do you even do it? How do you make a game that is humane? So we're off the table is anything that's manipulative, that's predatory, that is harmful to kids. We're just not going to do that. That's off the table. So we have this obligation that cuts off a lot of the traditional ways for making money for a video game. So that was maybe the first big challenge. There's a bit of a tension there, but also as an artist, as a writer, constraints are wonderful.
So that was a little snippet, a little behind the scenes action on the new podcast that Zach has created together. And it's called The Green Ember Goes Forth, because it's about the story jumping off the page in a new way. And that's exciting. So yeah, check it out. It's really cool. You can find it anywhere you look for podcasts, including on YouTube. Here on YouTube, you can kind of just look at my channel there, and all 3 episodes are on our YouTube channel. But you can find it at Apple Podcasts or Spotify, or what's another one? Anybody? I don't know any other one. Any other? Spotify. Look for it on Spotify. Potiphar's wife. No, no. I don't know any other ones. Okay. So we already have a winner. It's early doors, but we have a winner for the Old Natalia set, which includes this cool, that's Archer, which includes this cool activity pack and all of the Old Natalia books. That's the Prince Lander and the Dragon War, The Wreck and Rise of Whitsun Mariner, and the first one, The Black Star of Kingston, which starts with the "My place beside you, my blood for yours, till the green ember rises, or the end of the world, my place beside you." If I keep going down, every layer is a green ember shirt. I'm just kidding, there's only 2 layers, but they are both green ember shirts. And our winner for the first giveaway is, hold on, Daniel Kelly from Illinois. Daniel Kelly, you're a winner. Woo! Yeah! Daniel Kelly. That is a lot of confetti, Daniel Kelly. I bet some of it even went up to Illinois. That was a lot. Congratulations, Daniel. You are a winner. Please go to sdsmith.com/winner. That's where winners go, and you're a winner, Daniel Kelly. Congratulations. 2 more winners to go tonight. And the next one is going to be as a result of your answer to this question, which is, so I hope you've had a chance to check out the Kickstarter and to see, a lot of you probably have already backed it, and I thank you for that. That's really kind. If you have backed, just give me a thumbs up. That's not the question, but that would be cool. I'd love to see some thumbs out there from backers. But here's the question. What about the Kickstarter is compelling to you? What about this Kickstarter of combining the book and the game together in one offering, one story told in 2 different ways, offered together? Some cool stuff like this shirt and other things. What about that was compelling to you? There's some arguments that we made in the video and in the text. A lot of it's about hospitality to kids, about gaming as a way to sort of get people to become readers, and just to, our heart to create something that was different, that was radically different than what a lot of games offer, and something that had a beginning, a middle, and end. What about that argument or that invitation was compelling to you? And you can be as short as you want to. You don't have to be, it doesn't have to be brilliant or anything. So just if you'll answer that, you will be entered into a chance to win the next giveaway, which will come up in just a minute. I think Josiah, my brother, is going to hit me with one of your questions. I'm going to attempt to answer it with my mouth.
Okay, Sam, this question comes from The Bookworm. Their question is, will the book be as long as a normal Green Ember book or more in size like the old Natalia or Archer series?
Okay, cool. So we just gave away the old Natalia bundle, which has 3 books, and they're actually different in size, each of them. The first 2 are smaller, and the last one's quite a bit larger in the Prince Lander and the Dragon War. But I know what you mean. Is it going to be more like the smaller books or more like the bigger books? And the answer is it's going to be more like the bigger books. Helmer and the Dragon, Green Ember Helmer and the Dragon Tomb is a full-size novel. It's more like along the same size as Ember Falls, you know, that kind of a size. So yeah, it's a big one, and man, I cannot wait. I cannot wait to share it with you. It was a really fun Green Ember adventure to write, and the things that you love about the Green Ember, you are going to love about this new book. And this is the way to get the new book right now, and that is in the Kickstarter. So I'm so excited to share it with you, and it's a big, long book, and it is going to be fun. The beginning of a cool new series. Okay, so I think it might be about that time. Well, let's do another question. We'll do one more question, and then we'll move on to the game.
A question from Nora. Are you more excited about the new book or the new video game?
Whew. Nora, what a great name. I have a daughter named Nora. I am so excited about both, the game or the book. So there's something about books that nothing will ever replace them. Like a movie would not replace it, a video game, a board game, a ride at a theme park. I mean, nothing's going to replace a book for me. So I think I'd have to give the edge to the book a little bit, just because I'm a book guy through and through. But they're so tied together in my mind that it feels like one story, because it is one story. So I'm definitely super excited about both. But if I had to give the nudge, the nod to one only, I would probably stick with the book, because I'm a book guy through and through. Okay, speaking of being a book guy, let's get this video game going. Are you excited? Give me a little emoji or something to tell me about how excited you are there in the chat, or if what's your expectation about the game. And hopefully, again, this is a game in progress, so hopefully it will all work well. But we're going to try it out. And Andrew is going to come on probably if he can, if he wants to. Okay, here we are. We find ourselves. Andrew, why don't you tell us where we are in the game?
Yeah, so hold on, we can make things work. We are in the middle of level 1. We're trying to be minimally spoilery with what we show the game. Sam's really good at video games, so you're going to really enjoy this. Like the first level of most video games, this includes some learning, some little moments of figuring out how the game works. Sam has thrown a carrot.
All right, what am I doing here, Andrew? You got a guide
So that maybe there's a puzzle involving these 3 sets of cards.
Okay.
And so. Yep, there you go.
I'll pull this one out.
Don't even know that you have to. I think you can probably sneak through. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Look at you go.
That's pretty fun. So there's like little puzzles like that throughout, right?
Mm-hmm. Lots of mixed sort of combat and puzzles. I'll keep up with some of the questions in the chat. So I do see a question about co-op. Unfortunately, this is a single-player game at this point. We would love to do some couch 2-player co-op someday if this game really works and we get to do another. That'd be super cool. But for right now, we're making a single-player game.
And stick around, because you'll be able to see like somebody who actually knows what they're doing do this here in a minute.
It's actually so much more fun to watch you try to
watch
play
me
this
struggle.
game.
Where's X?
Uh,
All right, there we go.
There you go.
All right. Oh,
Those with eagle eyes will probably notice that a lot of the environmental pieces you can in fact pick up and use, which is maybe a hearkening forward to when the Helmer that we know likes to explain that everything is a. We'll let the chat fix it.
Yeah.
Everything is a what?
All right, so we're doing good here.
You're doing great. I'm so proud of you.
Oh yeah, look at this. Is this what's called speed run or
That's
extremely slow?
This is definitely not a speed run. But you're doing great.
Oh my goodness, I got that there. Okay.
So since we're playing the game with you guys watching, I'll just talk you through. There are 3 different meters up there at the top left, and what the game will teach you is that that top, the red one, is your health. The middle one is your stamina, because we didn't want it to be the kind of game where you can just hack away with the sword and eventually win. We wanted you to have to think about it a little bit. And then that blue one is for special attacks, which if Sam ever does, yeah, you're doing great.
Where do I go now?
If Sam ever does any sort of special attack, we'll all be so impressed.
Where do I go from here?
So you want to jump?
Down?
Nope. Forward. Yeah. No.
Ah!
Ideally, jump. Use that jump feature.
Okay.
There you
Now
go.
what do I do?
Now jump one more. You see where that fireplace is? Yeah,
Oh,
there
my
you
goodness. Okay, so I do that.
go. That'd be good.
That's a reset thing.
Yeah, so the fireplace, the little campfires serve as both a checkpoint and also a health restore. So you have some little drinks to increase your power, and that's where you get more of those.
Cool. Taking some damage.
You also, I think, killed the big bad guy
How did I do that?
without any work, which ought not to be the case. So that's where, because we're playing a slightly broken version of the game sometimes, we're still building it. Every once in a while things go wrong. So we've reached one of those terminal points where you don't get to continue from here.
Okay.
But in the game, you'll get to continue.
So it's pretty fun. I enjoy it. Oh, look at that. You can do a bunch of, there's some more special moves. I didn't really use any special moves. Andrew will do that. Whoops.
Oh, there was one.
Yeah, I previewed something that maybe I shouldn't have yet.
Oh, you're doing great.
But anyway, yeah, pretty enjoyable. It's a fun game, and even an inexperienced person like me can have fun. Andrew's going to continue, and I'll ask him some questions while he's going. What do you think so far? How does it look to you? Pretty cool, huh? This is obviously before you get in the. Oh, okay, sorry. Gotta hand over the old. What's it called? Controller, which is a note.
Yeah.
Which we should talk about a little bit. But so Andrew, but to play the game, this is something that comes up. You need anything. What do you need? Like people have to ask about the systems and that sort of thing.
Yeah. So to play the game, you need a Mac or a PC with the Steam app installed, because that's how you're going to get the game.
The Steam app is not something complicated or anything. It's just
No.
it's like a platform like an Amazon or something. It's just how you get the thing delivered. You don't have to start a new subscription or anything like that.
Yeah, no, it's just a delivery platform.
So if you've got a Mac and or a PC that's relatively new, you should be able to play this game.
You should be in good shape. And then if you really want it to sing, the best way to play it is with a controller. And so we have some recommendations for that. You can reach out to our customer service folks. There are, but for $20 to $30, you can get a pretty good controller that'll do it. We're in the middle of a stealth section right now, Sam, so you can see that you can see where the bad guys, and maybe talk for a minute, because I've seen it in the questions. What are these bad guys, Sam? Are they wolves?
Yeah, it's pretty neat. It's a little bit of a minor spoiler, but yeah, it's neat. One thing I love about this game is that there's so many different things. Like that other part, you do a little bit of farming actually at that first part, because Helmer's a farmer, and this is part of the story, is that he ends up in a different place than his farm. But the initial thing is it's a little bit easier. You're dealing with pests and that sort of thing. But there's different kinds of problems. So there's mysteries. You got to solve problems, that kind of a thing. Puzzles, that sort of. that you saw me very cleverly solving puzzles similar to that. So you've got some of those minor things, and there's some that are a little more complicated. And then you've got sneak. What is it called? They just sneak.
Stealth.
Stealth. Okay, so you're going around, and it's kind of in the dark, and these guys are looking, but you're sort of sneaking past them in the stealth.
Yeah.
mode.
So right now I don't have a weapon to use.
Oh yeah. No way.
So hopefully eventually I'll find one. But for right now, the only thing I have going for me is my speed and my stealth.
Because spoiler alert, he's a prisoner, and so he's trying to get out of the dragon tomb. So the bad guys, these ones you're looking at there, they are, excuse me, they are actually, excuse me. Hold that thought. So these bad guys are actually rabbits, and they're rabbits that have kind of been messed up, as they are very wolf-like, and they are, I mean, in the game they're more stylized than they would be from the book, but they're bad guys, and they've really turned into sort of something like what the rabbit's enemies are, which keeps happening. You know, there's always these temptations in the stories for the rabbits to kind of become more like what their enemies are than who they are, and stop believing their own story, who they're like called to be, and they start following after sort of the evil ways of their enemies. But doesn't this look awesome? I mean, Brazen Animation is incredible. They just make some beautiful stuff, and it's so cool. So these bad guys, they're called, we call them night walkers, because of they kind of go around and oppress people, and that's sort of what they're known as, the night walkers.
There are these moments like this that are so beautiful, like that waterfall, the big statues, mine carts moving.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan.
So again, spoiler alert, but he's being held along with other rabbits in this sort of old ancient dragon tomb, which these go back to the beginning of the Green Ember with 7 mounds, and there's several of these throughout. And if you've read the story and you've gone through Embers, and you have some experience with some of these things, but these are
I'm taking damage.
Oh, Andrew, come on.
Oh no, this could go very poorly.
He got you against the ropes here.
He does.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Way to
there
go,
you go.
Helmer. Good job. Way to get out of there. He's going back to reset and get some life back. Yeah, man, just the interiors are so beautiful. It's such a cool, such a beautiful thing. I don't know. What do you guys think? How do you like the way it looks? But lots of these kind of things where you're pulling levers and figuring stuff out.
Oh, that was a bad move.
Oh, you did it. Look at that. How cool does that look? It's just awesome.
Yeah, there are just these really tremendous moments that are visually.
Wow.
That's good reminders of why we chose to work with the guys at Brazen.
Yeah, Brazen Animation, they're incredible. We knew that we knew that they were gonna, what they do is just do world-class visuals and stuff. But I think the fun thing, the addition, is that they're just fantastic at the gameplay too. The gameplay is so fun, and you'll see more when. Are you gonna get a sword, do you think?
We can fast forward to a point where I get a sword.
It might be cool just so you can see, or actually maybe other weapon too, just so you can sort of see what we have and what to show it off a little bit. But yeah, what do you guys think so far? I'm curious.
I did see a question about Windows platform, because we talked maybe a little too much about Mac. This will be on Windows. So Windows and Mac. Those are our launch platforms. We do hope to eventually have a mobile version and maybe even a Nintendo Switch version. But for right now, the Windows and Mac versions will be where we start.
What do you think? Is it a Steam Deck thing? Not yet. Is that a separate deal?
Yes, I suspect it should be, since we're building in Unreal Engine, it should be fairly certain that it'll work, but it'll need to be tested.
Okay, I'm not sure about that one. Yeah. Josiah, if you see some good questions, you want to hit us with.
Oh, this is a cool
Whoa, check
puzzle.
that out.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh no.
Whoa. Yeah, this is crazy.
So here's a question from Laura. Why do the black rabbits look different on the book versus the game? Are they both Helmer?
So you can see that in action right now, Laura. That the one on the beneath me on the screen there is Helmer from the books, and that's the Zach Franzen sort of classic Green Ember rabbits. And oh, look, he's got the block action going. That's cool. And yeah, they do look different, but they're both Helmer. But it's the same character. But when you create something, oh, he was almost there. Whoa, you died.
Yep. I sure did.
So when you create something for different iterations or different media, what would you say, different applications maybe, there are different needs. And so getting this guy, as you can see, you can probably see the reasons why we've done it, because you can see on the screen that having a black furred rabbit in a black, dark, shadowy cave, it'd be really difficult to read him, to see him, and it kind of is. But what have they done? They put blue in his shirt there, which Zach has reflected on the book art character as well. But you can kind of see that when it comes back up, you'll see that there's blue on his shoulders, so he's easier to read. There's white around his. He's got the wrappings around his wrist, kind of thing, so you can see him better. Oh, look at that! That's cool. That's fun.
Yeah, you've got these. Oh no, that didn't work out so good.
So that's all about readability, and so that's why around his snout, and it's got white and stuff, which is not really necessarily true to the original character, but it's good for this iteration because it reads well. So now Andrew's got his sword, Helmer's got his sword, and he's balancing a little bit, and he's gonna do something cool. Oh, nice move! Wow.
So, oh no.
So he's not going to survive a fall like that. So
No.
you can see some of the puzzles. There's these little fun little things, but it's not super frustrating. You can sort of reload and get back. Okay, now there's another one. He's got a bow and an arrow. That's cool. You got a limited arrow supply, but that is part of the thing. Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
You're
We'll take
okay.
it.
Nice. So he's fighting these Nightwalkers. He just took his little drink, which is like a refreshing sort of a draft. You think about it as kind of like, if you're familiar with Ember's End, that would be like the moss draft kind of a thing. He's trying to get in a position where he can shoot this bat. Oh, okay.
And so you can target your enemies, which can be helpful, especially for firing an arrow, although the environment can still get in your way.
Yeah,
and you can run out of arrows like I just did.
But they do look a little different, the characters, but that's with a purpose. And it'll be the same, a lot of people are like, oh, when you do the movie, it's got to be exactly like it. The story's got to be exactly like it, and the character's got to look exactly like Zach Franzen's. That's not going to happen. And I'll tell you why. It wouldn't be as good, because there's different needs. You think about a character in an animated film like needing to emote, needing to like look like, oh, I'm so scared. A rabbit, like an actual rabbit, it'd be hard to do that. Their eyes are on the sort of the sides of their heads or not. So you need to humanize them a lot in order to be able to show the kind of emotions that, that you need for an interesting character.
I'm really proving myself to be an excellent video game player, by the way. That's what's happening here tonight.
You're doing fine. You're doing better than I would.
Guys, we have a question from Mel. Mel asks, what is the game's rating or ages for the video game?
Great question. At present, we don't know because we have to submit it, but we expect it to be rated E or E10. While there is some violence, obviously you're fighting bad guys. There's not anything gory or anything untoward. So we expect it to be rated E or E10. Although if Helmer dies in the test as many times as he dies when I'm playing him, we could move up to, no, we won't end up with a teen rating, I don't think.
Yeah, you can see this is pretty much what it is. It's going to be pretty family friendly, pretty cool. Look, there's a key up there. So Andrew
is trying desperately to get there, but
playing a lot like me right now. I would say.
It's really incredible.
That's cool.
Oh yeah, so this platform You have to drop the platform and then fight the guy and then hop the platform.
Nice.
Yeah, so there's oh, I didn't realize that was a moving platform.
There's lots of stuff like that, like the cool things like giving way and moving underneath your feet. It's really pretty fun. Oh, all right, you gotta fight that guy. Come on, get him. Wow, how cool is this? This looks awesome. Okay,
And
so
then
we
I got the key.
Way to go.
Which will come into play shortly.
Okay, should we do second giveaway? And this is in response to the question that we asked, which was, what do you think is a compelling reason why the Kickstarter is, or why is the Kickstarter offering compelling? So thank you for everybody who answered that and got entered. And I shall read the winner. Congratulations to Rachel Morales. That's scary.
We have a dud.
I'm very scared of that one now. Rachel Morales. Am I doing this the right way? Oh my goodness. Rachel, that was a very scary experience for me. Hope you enjoyed it. Congratulations to Rachel. You have won the Archer set, which includes the Green Ember Archer Activity Pack, which is really cool, guys. It's got coloring pages, and Zach did a great job on that. There's a little word search thing. Just a lot of fun stuff in there. How to make cookies, rabbits with sword cookies, and of course it comes with the pencils and the wonderful books of that Archer trilogy, which is one of my favorites. I love that trilogy, beginning with The Last Archer and moving on with The First Fowler and culminating in The Archer's Cup, which is a fun book about love, and it's a mystery, and it's different than a lot of the other books because it's, well, I won't spoil it for you if you haven't read it, but I love that book. I really enjoyed writing that. I read that in 2020, I believe. Really fun. Okay, so that's 2 winners down. We have 1 more winner to go, which we'll announce here at the culmination of our evening. And I think we'll take a couple more questions now, if that's okay. Josiah, you've got some going? And just a reminder, if you would, to consider backing the Kickstarter. That would be fantastic. And if you guys are gamers, let's see, put in the emoji of like a game remote control or something in the chat if you're like, oh, we're into the game, like we understand about games, like that's our thing, our family does it. Hit me with that. I'd love to see that. If you're a gamer, like maybe you understand this sort of the Steam thing, but anybody can go register the game on their wish list at Steam. That would be really helpful to us if you would consider doing that. If everybody that was on here tonight went to Steam, and is it just steam.com?
Store, unfortunately it's not. It's they can't hear me. Store.steampowered.com.
Store.steampowered.com. Store.steampowered.com. And actually, probably one of our helper elves will put that in the chat there, the link to actually the game. And if you just go there, you have to probably just register your account, which you're going to need to do anyway when you get your Steam key to get the game. So if you just go ahead and make an account, it's pretty simple, I think. And then wish list the Green Ember game. That would be really, really helpful to us. We'd be super grateful. If you don't know how to do it, it's probably pretty simple to kind of look up instructions for that. But we'd love it if you would do that. It would mean the world to us. Maybe not the world. It would mean the moon to us if you do that. Okay, next question.
I'm going to give you 2 questions because they sort of relate to one another. First one's from Alina. She asks, will Lord Hewson, Dagler, Snow, and King Jupiter be in the new book? And another question that came from Victoria is, does this story shed any light on some of the unanswered questions in the main series?
Okay, Alina, and who was the next person?
Victoria.
Hi, Alina and Victoria. Hi, howdy. Nice to see you here. That's a cool question. I like that because that would be what I was thinking. I would be thinking the same thing. Like, what from the lore of the Green Ember is this going to kind of reveal or not? And I'll say, I mean, the exact, all those people know. At least one of those people, yes, I'll give you that. So yeah, you'll be seeing, I think in this Helmer series, this is the first book, I think you'll be seeing, I know you'll be seeing some of these characters that have come up later in the story. And I think in some cool ways, it's this game probably has, this book has probably fewer characters. It's really focused on us getting to know Helmer himself, his own development. But that's interesting kind of how that happens and how he moves from being a farmer to become this fighter. And yeah, you'll definitely see some stuff. And what was the second question, Josiah? Oh, unanswered questions?
Yeah, does this story shed any light on some unanswered questions in the main series? I think there's one particular character that's keeps coming up in the chat that people always ask about, that you've sort of left some breadcrumbs, a lot of breadcrumbs.
This will not answer questions about the pilgrim. This book will not. I'll say that. That is in the works, in my mind, in my plans. Pray for me. I would love to be able to write, finish the Lost Lost Tales series as a trilogy at least. I'd love to write some more Helmer books, and I would love to write some Pilgrim books. I have those dreamed up in my mind. I'm so excited. It's probably a lot of people's questions is, will there be more about that? And so yes, but those questions will not be answered in this particular book. But there'll be other fun things that are in there for sure.
I have a very important question from Luke. He asks, what is the D in SD Smith?
Luke, I am your author. So Luke, the D stands for Dale. And there have been kids who've speculated about that over the years. Some kids were convinced that my name was Samuel Democracy Smith, but I am Samuel Dale Smith. I was named after Karen Dale Preston, my mother's cousin, my cousin too, I guess, who was her best friend growing up. And so I was named after her, Dale. Named after a woman. Pretty exciting, huh? Good question. Good. You want to do another one?
Sure. How about one from Jack? He asks, what's the main goal of the gameplay in the video game?
That's a good opportunity to bring Andrew back in with some more playing, and I think I'm gonna pitch that one over to him as we go. But meanwhile, Josiah, for our final question, we need to ask them a question. Do you have what that is, or do I need to come up with one brilliantly on the spot?
I think you being brilliant on the spot seems to be the most appropriate thing for this moment.
Oh no, I'm failing. I'm failing to be brilliant. Okay, so I got to come up with a question for you guys, and that would be this. Okay, so it's going to be a two-parter, and the first part is, what is your favorite Green Ember book? Boom, that's under one. You go one, and then you write First Valor or whatever your favorite Ember books. And then number two, without doing any spoilers, you say the name of the Green Ember book that you want to read. Like just we were talking about other different kinds of things, but just make up your own Green Ember book name. And these questions are taking a little bit of thought tonight, but I believe in you guys. So your favorite Green Ember book now, and then the Green Ember book that you want to see, which so many kids have like sent me in like titles of books. So it doesn't have to be brilliant, doesn't have to be spectacular, but just what do you think? What would be a cool Green Ember title? And hey, if it's cool, I might grab it. I might snag it. I might write that book. I've done weirder things. So yeah, hit me with that. That'll be your that's your assignment, and we'll pick from the people who answer that question our final giveaway upcoming here in just a little bit. Hey, so tell us where we are, Andrew, and then you're going to answer that question, brother.
Well, so we're still in level 3. I'm actually going to turn it around on you first, Sam,
oh my goodness,
because I just saw a great question. So a lot of times we hear about movie adaptations and video games where the author sold the rights and then ends up pretty disappointed with the outcome. The story of whatever gets made isn't. So somebody just asked, was Sam involved in the video game at all? And I would love to hear the answer to that.
That's a great question. Yeah, I've read that a lot too, and that's over the years that's been like a cautionary tale for me. I've read like sometimes authors, back in the days when a lot of people did a lot of blogs, like there were some really detailed, like this is where it all went off the rails with our movie deal. And people think like, oh, if I get a movie deal, or if we do a video game, or we do a board game or something like that, that's just always good. But then a lot of other people are like, oh no, I know of stories where it's really bad and tough. And then the author's like, do I have to come out and like pretend like I like it? Is that what I'm doing right now? Just like, oh well, we're in this thing now. I got to pretend like I like this game but that isn't, happily, that's not our situation. We have a really cool news for you, and that is that this is our game. This is our company. Long Treader Games, was founded to create this game, and we partnered with Brazen Animation, and they worked for us and with us, and are working with us to create this game. And I didn't do any of the programming. I wouldn't know the first thing about that, and that's not something our team does. But we got to work on the story, approval of art, and just everything. We were there. We've been there like every step of the way, giving feedback on gameplay and just creating the story together. And they've got some incredible people there. Brian Ingram is the main boss there, and he is just an absolutely brilliant guy, wonderful fellow. We have so much in common. We both have the same sort of like heart for Christian vocation and just for excellence and for hospitality. And so he's been incredible. Chris Osbrink is another guy. He's been really like the creative director. So he's just, this is a cool part of the game. Wow, I don't think I've ever seen this. This is dope. Wow. And so look at all those arrows breaking on the wall. That's awesome. So working with them was incredible, but no, there's not anything from the game that we haven't, other than I just told you I haven't seen that part yet, but we've had a hand in the whole thing, and we've been there all along the way. So we really, even the design of like not doing some of the things that, a lot of modern games are kind of like slot machines, and they just try to keep you in an endless, repetitive sort of money sucking, hamster cycle wheel. Like all those things, they were on board for our heart for that, to just make it a game that was really hospitable to kids and friendly to families and loving, and so they're fantastic. And so yes, it's our game, and we're really pleased with it. And we've had so much to do with it, and been absolutely delighted.
Yeah, and having grown up as a nerd, it's a little bit of a dream come true to like play test a game and say like, hey guys, actually it's broken here and this isn't working. So let me talk real quick about the gameplay. This game is kind of a mix between an action adventure game and what they call a rogue-like or a dungeon crawler. So lots of enemies to fight, and lots of finding your path and solving and opening doors. And it's not quite a Legend of Zelda sort of game because there's not as much going and finding items and that sort of thing, but it's like a junior version of that. We want to be kind, especially to our younger players, and make something that's pretty compact. I'm the nerd on the team, so yes, I have played all the way through Breath of the Wild. It took me about 60-70 hours. It was a long time. That was not we did not want to make that game. We wanted to make something that was easy to digest in a few bite-sized chunks and would be delightful, but wouldn't take over anyone's life.
But fun on repeat, though.
Yeah.
Fun to play, fun, like a book. Like a lot of kids will go back and read another book again. Like you could do that with this. Just like go back and do it again. Whoa, nice work. Oh, sometimes they come out, and sometimes they go. Ooh,
Gotta be speedy.
There is a question in the chat that sort of ties into this conversation. The Kintsugi asks, respectfully, what makes the game non-addictive compared to other video games? You've used that terminology, Sam, and what do you feel like is different about your heart and the care that went into how the game was created and what to expect when people are playing it?
So, it depends. Really, if you think about the way a lot of modern games are designed, they're designed with like almost like hacking the psychology of people to sort of. There are ways in which it's never fully resolved, and so you just kind of keep coming back to it, and it's designed to keep your attention. And when something's fun and engaging, it keeps your attention. So there is a tension in that, and we totally recognize that. but it's sort of without controversy that a lot of modern games, particularly a lot of mobile games, are designed to sort of like, they'll be free to play, and then there's sort of add-ons, more money, and they sort of they are designed with the same kind of a psychology as a slot machine. The game is fun, so I mean, if you're like, oh, this is really cool, I really enjoyed it, but it does have a beginning, a middle, and an end, like a story does. So a lot of old-fashioned games back when I was playing, Nintendo games, which looked like this, they, you'd have a quest, and you could beat it, and there are still games like that for sure. But this has a shorter cycle, I think. It's probably around the same amount that it would take you to read the book as to play and sort of win the game. And you could go back to it, but it's a little bit more old-fashioned with a throwback to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And I think there is a pretty significant contrast with, I think there are a lot of choices that we could have made in making the game that would have been a little more on the predatory side. Oh, if you have a bunch of kids playing it, and you say like, oh, if you buy this skin, then you'll be able to level up, or if you pay us, $5 here, then you can get a new sword. And there's several things like that are sort of normal, and we were not as comfortable with that because we just wanted to make something that was really hospitable to all kids. So I think that we're probably taking a significant hit on that financially, but I think that was our heart, is to make something that was really special. So we're, at the end of the day, we're really proud of what we have made in our making. Do you want to add anything to that, Andrew?
No, that's got it exactly. Everything in the world seems to be dopamine hacking right now. Like, how can we feed your dopamine receptors? And some of that's good, right? Like that's like dopamine is not in and of itself bad. It's just a constant feed, and this is not built for that.
I was listening to who's the guy that wrote is it Jonathan Haidt, the guy that wrote the Anxious Generation?
Mm-hmm.
So I was listening to him the other day, and he was talking about like the difference between social media versus even just like watching a movie. Like that it's hard for a lot of kids these days just to watch a movie. And it's funny because when I was growing up, it's like, oh, you watching too many movies or something. And now a lot of parents would be like, please sit and watch an entire movie. And he was talking about how valuable that could be if you're all sitting together and you're all watching a movie, one screen. It's not so much like, oh, screens are the worst thing in the world. It's not exactly that. It's like how we're using them. And so if you're all sitting around watching a good movie together, that's so different, dopamine-wise and other things, than to have a continual hit and then scroll. Scroll. I'm having my own individual experience, and I'm doing. So you could this game, you could sit around, like two or three people could sit around and talk and watch each other and play and talk about it, and you're kind of having this shared experience. It's related to this book story. So I think it is a different thing, sort of even just attention span wise. It's kind of got a powerful. I don't know. I think it's a little more hospitable to even just like brain development, that sort of thing. We've definitely designed it with that in mind. So yeah, just that.
I have a question that ties in again from Brooke that says, can you stop and save at any time? For example, when mom calls you to dinner.
Oh, that's a good one. Because do you remember that when we were kids, Josiah, and mom would say, what we used to say is,
it's the World Series.
It's the championship. That's what we always said. When mom would say, hey, you got to come right now, we would say, it's the championship. So, because our family is a big sports family, so that was like, oh, it's a championship. Well,
yeah, so features are still in development, but you can see there are some save slots. You can save your game anytime, and then you can come back and load your game. And so, yes is the answer.
So
when mom calls you to dinner,
you got to go.
You got to go.
You got to go. No excuse. And sorry I gave you that excuse about it's the championship.
Well, it is a pretty important note, too. We're showing something that's very unfinished.
Yeah.
Brazen Animation are the phenomenal world-class video game designers. They've created they've been part of some of the most amazing games created, and what the finished product will look like might be quite different. This is very much still a work in progress.
Yeah, that's a good note. It's good to say, and you can see it's all sort of still working in working progress, but it looks cool, right? I mean, it's so fun. It looks really, really beautiful. I'm so excited.
We did have someone ask the question of most games are 30-ish hours of gameplay or more. How do we justify the cost of the game? And here's what I'll say is this is a lower cost game. This is not a $60. It will not be a $60 AAA title.
It'll be $59.99.
No, it will not. We're still working out exactly the pricing, but you can see in the Kickstarter we've tried to create value. We've tried to provide value with at least getting the game and the ebook for $25. You get a print book, audio book, ebook, the Timekeeper Adventure Journal, and the game for $55. So I think the pricing is right. I think
It's like a book.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the time and you're basically like entering into a book for about the price of a book, and having about that much time, and a repeatable, probably more repeatable than a book in a lot of ways. But yeah, that's going to be around the price point. You're going to feel like you're paying for a book.
Yeah. So that's a really good, fair question. We're not going to charge like we created Breath of the Wild 2 or anything. We're going to charge like we created a fun, exciting indie game with 3 to 6 to 10 hours of gameplay, depending on if you're bad at it like Sam or great at it like me.
Look at the cleverness there, putting the box over the thing so we can get out. Very cool. Yeah, actually, when you think about brain development, there are some things about video games that are actually good for children's development, that kind of thing. You do have problem solving. You do have overcoming things. There's quests. There's a lot of, and I think this thing has got that. It's got that in spades. So I'm very high on our game. It's not perfect by any means, but I mean, I can certainly attest to the heart of myself and our team what we were trying to create is in trying to give a really good gift. That's definitely our heart, no question. And I think that we are succeeding at that. And whether or not the market out there, whether it works, that's a different question. But I feel really, I don't know, proud, but just like I'm grateful that we got a chance to make something like this that's so hospitable to kids and fun.
Sam, I just wonder if it would be helpful to share about when the Kickstarter ends and when people will get the game if they back the Kickstarter.
Okay, so the Kickstarter is we're wrapping it up right now. Let's see how many hours we've got left. 44 hours to go for the Kickstarter. So if you haven't backed yet, that'd be great. And I'll just give you, I'll be bold and say that where we are right now on the Kickstarter is good. It's $220, almost $228,000 in it, and we're really grateful for that. That's super special. So thank you to everybody who's backed so far. That does mean so much to us. I will say that's a small dent in the project overall, where we kind of need to be as far as a bigger project. So we're still in a sort of a pretty challenging situation. So I'll just be a little bit frank with you on that front, and that ties together with, if you're interested and it suits you and it fits your budget, of course. If you're interested, if you wanted to increase your pledge somewhat, that's always an option. That would come with more rewards. You could do add-ons, that kind of a thing. Consider maybe going up to the next tier. That's just an invitation and a consideration that would help the project quite a bit. Help us to be able to do more things like this or more in the future. Because I would say that I would just, again, kind of be frank. Like, I would say this kind of thing it's still really in the balance, like whether or not this kind of a thing will work. So that's part of the heart of the Kickstarter, is inviting you in for the journey, kind of behind the scenes, and you become sort of a part of creating the project in a way, like right in hand with us. And to just say, like, to make a video game like that looks like that plays like that, it's not insignificant, the investment. So that's just a little word to just say, like, we're just getting going, and we've got a long way to go on that front. And if you would consider increasing your pledge, that'd be awesome. No pressure, of course. We want you to do what's good for your family. And I think what we've offered, like, as Andrew indicated, is a pretty good exchange. A pretty good, I think, for the most part. Except when you get up into those last few tiers where it's where you're obviously becoming kind of a patron for the project, which is a cool thing too, if that's if the Lord has blessed you in that way. Okay, so we've got to give one more thing away as the final. Do we have any final questions before we do that? Doing pretty good. We did pretty good on the questions. Did you guys enjoy Andrew? How about a round of applause for Andrew and he for his, I don't know how you do that with emojis, but okay, we got the sound effect. Good. That's for Andrew showing us how to play the game in a non-terrible way, which is what I was doing. But you got a good little preview of the game. I hope that was fun for you. I think you're gonna enjoy playing it. It's cool. You jump around, fight, figure out puzzles, keep going, achieve a cool objective. It's awesome. And I cannot wait, absolutely cannot wait to share this new book with you. It is, we're still working on that, and it's going to be so good. But the question was when, and I think that the delivery, as I understand it, fellows, is going to be, what we've said is October, and I don't think there's any, as of right now, there's no reason to expect it would be any later than that. So fall of 2025. October is what we're looking at. Sometimes there's some challenges with things that are out of our control, but we've done a lot of this kind of thing many times, and we sort of know the business of printing books and that kind of a thing. There's some things with the global economy right now, with some tariffs and things that make us a little bit less than 100% certain that we can always get the printing runs done exactly when we say. But we've built, our Andrew again has built in a lot of time. He's our publisher, and he's built in a good time
Sam.
there. Yeah.
Speaking of books, there has been a question about whether this will be the only Helmer book.
Okay. Yeah, I think I may have mentioned that earlier, but that my goal is to write more Helmer books. So I want to complete the Lost Tales trilogy, and that's I really want to do that as well. And then I'm excited about that. Did you guys like the Lost Tales, the Lost Key, that first book in there? That also featured Helmer, an older Helmer, and Pickett and Heather and Joe. So I want to keep telling that story because, as many of you have pointed out, there's a bit of a cliffhanger there, and which I'm known to do from time to time. So more of that is coming, Lord willing, and then more Helmer stories as well. And if we succeed at that, we kind of keep going. I definitely want to tell some maybe stories about a certain pilgrim, if that's possible. That's definitely in my heart. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for this. We're going to do our one final giveaway.
Before you do the final giveaway, you mentioned tariffs. I just want to say one of the things that we've loved about being able to work on this game and all of our book production has all been in the United States. So we haven't had to deal with import tariffs, but just the nature of the instability is some uncertainty about timelines and how long it might take to print things and several factors out of our control.
That's a good point. So we have always, like, that's kind of been our thing, is we've always done everything in the United States. That's unusual for publishers. So we have done that. And what happens with the tariffs is not so much that it applies to us necessarily, even though the companies get paper from Canada and that kind of thing. So there's some stuff there, but also all those companies that do business overseas in China or elsewhere to do printing, if they can't do that as affordably, then they do it in the United States, which adds to the burden on the printers, which can add a little bit more time. That's probably the area of unpredictability. But Josiah makes a really good point in just saying that we have, I mean, Josiah and I and Andrew, we're all missionary kids. We all grew up and spent time at other places in the world. We love our international friends so much. I have a real heart and love for Canada, which is where Andrew's from, and so we love everybody who's listening in or watching from Canada. We love you so much, and we're so happy to be your friends. And people in the UK and South Africa, where Josiah and I spent a lot of our childhood, and any other places around the world, we love you. So that when we say, hey, it's made in America, that's no slight on any of you guys at all. That's not our heart a single bit. But we're pleased. We like that we've done business in the United States, and so that's true about the game, and it's true about our books as well. So yeah, I'm so excited to share this with you guys. This is fun, and it was a fun night. It was fun hanging out with you this evening. We got one more giveaway, and that winner is, drum roll. You have to drum roll at your own home, and congratulations to Eric VE6RC. Eric, congratulations, you're the winner! Woo! Eric, congratulations. Well done. You are the winner of the Green Ember set. Oh man, that including the new Green Ember activity book, which you can get that by which is a tier that first has the activity sets. Is that the green? Third tier, all Green Ember bundle?
No, before that you get just the activity.
Oh, just the activity books in the.
You can also get them as an add-on on the Kickstarter.
Oh, that's cool. You get them, so if you have so you say you do the it's the $100 one, right? The what is it called? True Fan something extravaganza.
True Fan Extravaganza.
True Fan Extravaganza. You could get that one, and then you'll get one of these. But if you have several kids and you want to just do some add-ons get each one of them a book, you could do that. That's one way to do it. But that's cool. That's going to be something that's actually going to be coming to Amazon and to our store as well. We're going to do these bundles that we're giving away right now. We're going to do it's going to be cool. You're going to get a sticker and a bookmark and activity book, and that's going to be fun. So excited to share that with you.
If you were one of the 3 winners tonight, please go to stsmith.com/winner. And that'll give you some instructions on how to claim your prize.
I think that's kind of funny if he talks, but I move my mouth. You talking, I mean.
My name is S.T. Smith. I am not the smartest author in the world, but I try.
I enjoyed that. That was very pleasurable for me. I enjoyed that. Thank you. It's really cool hanging out with you guys tonight. Oh yeah, I got to show off my Helmer shirt, which you guys have seen. That's also available in the True Fan Extravaganza, and hey, why not just add a few more on for your kids? That would be cool. Thanks for spending time with us tonight. It means so much. We do make this, make these games and these books for you, and they're made with a heart of love in service to you. I hope you had a great time tonight. It was fun showing you the game. Please consider backing the Kickstarter. Please consider going maybe up to the next tier if you can. And then remember the thing about wishlisting the game on Steam. I think Corley's put a link there so that you can find that as well. That would be really fun. And again, winners, go to stsmith.com/winners. That's it from us tonight. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night, and go Knickerbockers.